Dave Hill Show.
I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
David, you look absolutely terrific, honestly. You got like glue on.
This is where the worst begins. This is where we must stop. For beyond is the work of madness. The nightmare of insane murder and lingering death. Get inside and lock your doors. Close your windows.
Someone is watching you. Someone is waiting for you. Someone wants to scare you to death.
This is Albert from the Tuesday Show. You're listening to the goddamn Dave Hill Show, now on a flipping Monday.
No, you're an angel witch. Yes. Hello, and welcome to the Dave Hill Goodtime Hour with me, Dave Hill. From before, Hi, how are you? I'm a fucking mess. But other than that, I'm really great. How are you doing, boy criminal Chris Gersbeck?
I'm fantastic. Hey, when the video went off, did it come in like super loud after that, the Angel Witch, or was it like level?
A little loud.
It came in super loud. Everyone was.
Oh, okay.
I did a big blog post
Shit.
about
I'm sorry,
it.
everyone. I'm sorry.
How are you doing, New Jersey Chicken Rancher? Dez.
Doing great, Dave.
You look very trim. Is that the lighting?
It could be the lighting. You mean like trim as in the beard or weight wise? Because
Just
Ryan
like
over here.
very ill. No.
Ill?
Weight wise.
It's the magic of TV, I suppose, or television.
Could be the magic of TV.
Yeah.
I would have thought after all this time, Chris, do you have one of those ring lights that everyone has?
Nah.
Des, do you have one?
No.
I would have thought after the 47 years we've been in this pandemic and Zooming and stuff, I would have invested in one of those ring lights because they're flattering, for auditions and things. But I still haven't. And there's just a harsh ceiling light above me, crashing down,
It's a lot to have the
highlighting
light.
all my.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it about 2 days before they officially announce that we're back to normal times, which won't be another years from now, but still.
What is that official announcement going to sound like, do you think?
They're gonna be like, get on out there and fuck everybody. No, I don't know. I think what's gonna happen, it'll be, those street fairs in New York that are like the same street fair on every street.
Yeah.
It's like alpaca sweaters,
Mm-hmm.
the corn that has all the sauce on it.
No joke. I got my wife an alpaca dress at one of those things like a year ago.
Nothing wrong with that.
Does she take it on the town, or would she in normal times?
Yeah. I should clarify, but I mean, I don't know if you meant alpaca like it was actual alpaca fur, or just like the
I believe
design
it.
of an alpaca.
I think they're made of
Yeah.
alpaca furs, and then sometimes they feature a depiction of an actual alpaca,
Well,
which is different from a llama. Could not be more different.
No.
yeah. This dress just had pictures of alpacas. That's what triggered the memory for me, at least.
I would like an alpaca-based,
Garment.
but it sounds great. Is my point. We have an incredible program tonight. Assuming both of our guests show, I sent them both the Zoom, which right there, just hearing that sentence that I was responsible for getting them the Zoom link, doesn't bode well for either one of them.
They both retweeted the tweet.
Oh, okay.
So-
Then coming in hot. And they both have my number. They could always call me here on my cellular telephone. The number here is 347-474-0260. That's 347-474-0260. That's once again 347-474-0260. So let's just light up those phones. It's going to be an explosive program. We have do you guys know, this has recently come into my celebrity Todd Barry told me about this. And then now I saw there's an article in the New York Times about it. There's a new app, guys.
Okay.
Do you know what app?
You're
I'm
either
talking
going to
about?
say Stereo or Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah. Do we have to get on that?
And what's that?
Do we have to get on that?
I don't want to. I'm on it, apparently. I signed up because celebrity Todd Barry kept saying, I sent you an invite. You should sign up for it. So I signed up for it.
Just like a celebrity social media.
I don't know, but just celebrities wall to wall now. And I didn't turn the notifications off. So it's just, but as best I can tell, it's like Like all things in life, it's just some version of something that's already happened.
Yeah.
And it seems to be like a chat line where it'd be like, these three people are talking about baking. And then you listen and then they're talking about, I don't know how it works at all. I'm not getting paid to say this. I have no intention of engaging with this app. I want to engage with less apps. But I was just curious if you guys knew anything about it, or
Yeah.
maybe if any callers might know.
It sounded very similar to the stereo app, which I played around with a bit more, which, like, you know, we could do this show on that basically, but instead of seeing us, you'll just see little avatars like moving, like little animated.
Place of us?
Would the lips of the avatars move?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Animal Crossing or something?
Kind of into this.
Yeah. Maybe we should try it. Let's do that next week.
I'm kind of into it.
That could be a thing.
I started taking klonopin the other day,
Whoa.
and I cannot recommend it enough. I intend to take it for the rest of my life.
How did
The
you even
only thing,
get a
what's that?
prescription? How'd you even get a prescription for that? I feel like
Oh, I'm sure
Those
he
things
has
are-
got a guy.
I just called my doctor and I was like, it's time. It's time. Because I hadn't been taking anything for a long time other than psychedelics.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, let's get it going.
The
And so
microdosing has run its course. For now.
I don't think microdosing, unless you're some sort of Jedi, I don't think it really works in times when the world is horrible.
Yeah, if that
I
makes
think it's
sense.
good. I think it's good otherwise. But I mean, because I even talked to like the people that got me the microdosings, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is fucking horrible." So finally, I was like, "All right, I'm going back." And but the only thing about you can't drink on klonopin.
Ooh.
You're not supposed to. So
yeah.
all
What did I
by saying, no one is running through Thumbs Up, the number one Coca-Cola substitute of India, faster than I am.
I made the mistake of the only time I ever took a Xanax, I took a Xanax while I was drinking. And I read afterwards that I could have died from that. And it felt like it. It felt like I almost died.
That's
But
what
you
I
gotta-
read about klonopin.
Yeah. Got to be really careful.
Though my mother once accidentally took klonopin and drank 2 glasses of wine. And she was a delight.
All depends on.
She did die, I should say, but it was not for many years later.
Wholly unrelated.
We think.
Mm-hmm.
We think it was unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
However, anyway, I digress. So if what?
I say I do have a call online if you want to get that out of the way.
Oh, let's take it.
Sure. Elvira, are you there?
Hey, fine folks. How does the world find you today?
Oh, so great. How are you doing? I should say, I meant to say this
I'm
at
doing
the top
better.
of the call. There, no self-promotion in any phone calls tonight, or we'll
Okay,
have
no problem.
technical difficulties. No self-promotion.
Okay, can I talk about an idea I have?
Well,
It doesn't exist
we'll
yet,
take
so I
it
can't
as it
direct
comes.
anybody to it.
We'll take it as it comes.
Okay, so last week I called and I was complaining about like Ticketmaster and all those ticket agencies that insert themselves between our audiences and our performers and take a huge chunk of cash and add nothing to it.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about how to fix that, and I think I have an idea. What we do is venues have an app that creates a cryptocurrency that has the value of the seat and the seat itself and the time stamped into it, allowing cut out all the middlemen, and also allowing a patron to have a continued relationship with the venue through that cryptocurrency.
It's a lot of work. So that's like in football where they have the personal seat licenses where like you own the seat for that event, right?
Yeah.
And then you could get a ticket and sell it to somebody else. So you're just cutting out the other, so you're just looking to replace the cash grabber, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly. And charge like a super low fee, like $1 per transaction. So if you have 5 seats, it's still just $1. If you have an entire school, it's just $1. And
that's how it starts,
really
though. And then the next thing,
it's really easy to make cryptocurrency. So, and the value of it is stamped to the value of the show.
Dare I ask, how do you make cryptocurrency?
It's really easy. It's just a blockchain.
Do you have to have a mustache?
It just takes the will to put it in there,
like a thin mustache,
and it's freakishly secure. So that's my big idea for the week. I don't want to do any self promotion, but I want to put it out there and let the universe know that if anybody else wants to benefit the world, get hold of me.
He's open source.
I like this. I mean, I don't understand any of it, but I like it.
I can make it super simple. Basically, they make a little ticket, but instead of a ticket, it's digital information. And there's no scalping, there's no secondhand market, and it's direct relationship between the venue and the patron.
You know what this is how I remember way back in time, and maybe Ticketmaster was involved in that, I just don't know. But a little band called ZZ Top came through town. The year was, well, it would have been like the Afterburner tour. So it was after Eliminator. I guess it would have been like 85 or something. Several months before ZZ Top was coming to Cleveland. Months. They said in the paper or somewhere, hey, ZZ Top's coming to town. Tickets go on sale. Whatever day it was. And we would get our moms to drive us down to not the venue, because the venue was like way out in the woods. Drive us to like another venue, and you would just wait in line. Some people had been sleeping out waiting, but we got there really early, and then we just bought ZZ Top tickets. End of story. Why don't we just do that?
And you bought it directly from the venue.
Yeah.
It's not so simple anymore.
There wasn't a middleman, and there wasn't anybody inserting themselves. Because what they're doing right now is like a Ticket Hub will go out and they'll sell you a seat that they do not own, and then they will try to get you that seat at a markup. And if they can't get you that seat, they'll conveniently have another seat that they can give you for the same price. And it's a complete scam.
Yeah.
So, and I want that valuable patron money to go to the venues and not to somebody in the middle who adds nothing to the equation.
We used to have to go to like
anxiety and strife.
Like a Modell's Sporting Goods. That's where we would get tickets. Like they'd have like a little ticket.
ZZ Top.
The model on is what would Fugazi do?
Well, Fugazi, you just go and you pay. I don't know if you could buy Fugazi tickets ahead of time. I forget.
I wouldn't think so.
But I saw Fugazi many times, and it all worked out. It all. Now what I do is I rely on my Z-list celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do is I say, I'm Dave Hill, very famous. Gonna come down to your venue tonight and see the show, and let me in. Please make sure there's drink tickets. And
I do the same thing. I say, I'm Dave Hill's friend. Can you let
Please give me what I want.
Dave Hill's producer works. You got to go with that.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Proximity.
A step up on that. What I do is, as a union stagehand, is I see the concert that I want to see, and I go and work it, and then I get paid to see the show and work with the artists.
Well, that's the greatest.
And I usually get a free T-shirt out of it too.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, that's how I got to meet Willie Nelson's guitar trigger.
See?
Did you turn the screws on them for the free T-shirt, or did they just give you the free T-shirt?
They just give me the free T-shirt. They'll often have them. They now kind of color code them. That way they can tell which departments this
Giving the shirts out. Because someone once gave me a shirt that said Poison, Unskinny Bop Tour Crew.
I saw that tour.
And I
Really?
think you did? I think I probably saw that tour too.
It was the opener, at least over here.
Literally adjusting things, but downtown.
What were your guys' first big rock shows? I got to see Stevie Wonder when I was 12, and I got to see Metallica when I was 15.
I saw Ringo Starr when I was 6.
Ooh.
Nice.
Kiss when I was 15.
Ooh.
Hot in the Shade tour. Not so ooh.
Hot in the Shade. Did they have like a Sphinx on
Yes.
the stage?
Yeah, the Sphinx, yeah.
I've told this story many times, but the ZZ Top tour that I saw, the one where we just went, had our mothers drive us down, get the tickets. ZZ Top, they come on, well, the lights go up, and then there's a big Sphinx on stage. And the Sphinx is wearing sunglasses, as you'd expect. And there's a big white mound on the stage covering all the gear, right? And then there's a huge snorting sound, and the big pile, essentially the Sphinx snorted a massive pile of cocaine to reveal all of ZZ Top's equipment. And then ZZ Top just started rocking out, and everyone in attendance was like, well, that's how you start a concert, isn't it?
That's a good sign for what's to come. Yeah.
No, it was relentless.
Story about the early ZZ Top before they were known as ZZ Top. In fact, they were one of 2 touring bands that claimed to be the Zombies.
No, this is not true.
Ooh,
okay, we got to.
This
isn't true.
What I heard. In fact, when they were asked why they didn't have their keyboardist, they would always say that they were in jail. Or that they got.
This isn't true.
Arrested.
This is apocrypha. All right. Well, thank you very much, Elvira.
See you, man.
All right. I appreciate you fine folks. Keep up.
Have a good night. All right. Thank you. You too. And I like your idea. That's not true. ZZ Top is never pretending to be the Zombies.
You sound pretty confident about that.
I'm going to look it up.
I've never heard that.
Possible. Anything.
ZZ Top Zombies.
Did you ever hear the rumor that the Doors almost reformed with Iggy Pop as their singer?
I feel like I did.
I call bullshit on that too.
That one might actually be true, though.
That could be true. The Doors with Iggy Pop.
Yeah. Like they were going to make a new Doors album. Same band minus Jim Morrison, and then...
This would have been further back in the day, right? Not like in the middle
like
age.
Shortly after Morrison died, yeah.
Yeah.
Something is coming up. I'm looking this up. ZZ Top Zombies. We're really the true stories. Why? Something is coming up. I'll give it to him. Why 2 members of ZZ Top pretended to be the Zombies?
So, well, It's two members of ZZ Top. That's not necessarily.
Okay, yeah. All right. So, all right, we're saying already broken up.
Do what you got to do.
All right. So there it is. With apologies to Elvira, even though I call bullshit on his general claim.
In general, there's something there.
Because it sounds like he dragged Billy Gibbons into it. And I resent that.
Yeah. Not cool, man.
One of the first things I'm going to do after the plague is have a summit with Billy Gibbons.
Oh, man.
That'd be exciting.
I can feel it.
Does he know?
No, I mean, I feel like he can sense it.
Right.
I know several people who are friends with Billy Gibbons. Several. I can go through my phone and I can just go right down. He's friends with Billy Gibbons. She's friends with Billy Gibbons. Right down the list.
1 degree of separation.
So just stands to reason that eventually me and Gibbons, it's going to be Dave and Gibbons time, or Gibbons and Dave time.
Gibbons and Hill. That has a good ring to it.
Together at last.
Yeah.
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other goals I have for after the pandemic is over.
Did you have any specific goals when it started? Like, oh, I'm here. Like everybody started making banana bread at the beginning of this. You're like, I'm going to figure this out. I know you're doing your art.
But doing the artwork was never a goal. That was sort of accidental.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, shit, here I am. What do I do?
I just started doing it because I forget why. I think I went to the flea market and just started buying bullshit and just started painting it just for a fun activity. I'm always looking for good times. So did that. Just sort of a daytime activity, never a nighttime activity. I want to bake bread. I don't know if it's too late in the pandemic to bake bread. Have you guys baked any breads?
Nah, my wife's been doing that. I haven't baked any myself.
Not like a loaf of bread, no. Made like some pepperoni bread.
Whoa.
That
sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. It's easy.
I need that recipe.
Sure. I'll email it.
I think you just make bread and then you throw pepperoni into the dough, no?
You don't even have to make it. Just get it from the pizza place. They'll sell you like the ball of dough. Roll it out, fold some shit in there.
I never thought to buy dough from a pizza place.
Oh, come on, man.
You can buy dough from.
Yeah.
Do they give you a hard time about it?
New York.
If the guy's an asshole, but I mean, usually no. They might say, "Oh, I only got so many balls of dough to make for the whole night." I'm like, "Well, you just take care of one now."
Yeah.
You get to go home that much quicker. No, it's nice. It's a good time.
Now that I'm not as panicked at the grocery store, even though I'm starting to get panicked again with the new variants that are coming to kill us. Before I was like too anxious to look for bread ingredients, but I do know how to make. When I worked at a homeless shelter, they would give me money they'd be like, go. Well, you were supposed to make like a massive sheet cake on weekends, right? Like a massive, like the size of, those old like electric football games from like the 70s where it was like bzzz,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a cake that size roughly, and it was this big sheet cake, and then it was really horrible, the mix they had. So I would go to the grocery store and I'd buy like carrot cake, banana bread, and then every imaginable ingredient that you could then throw into that stuff. Like I'd get carrot shavings, walnuts, raisins, basically anything you could possibly, chocolate chips, whatever you could, and I would put it in, and I'd make one of those big little rascals cakes that was just like breathing, with just like couldn't contain itself. And so anytime I would walk into the homeless shelter, everyone would freak out because they'd be like, shit's gonna happen tonight. Dave's gonna make a motherfucker of a cake. Everybody knew.
That's a lot to put it. Like, you were expected to make the cake, or did you say, I'm gonna make it? Did you volunteer it?
No, I was volunteered it. I was pumped to do it, but eventually what happened was, then when I didn't show up and someone else showed up and who did my job, the same job, then everyone would be like, "Oh, you suck. You're not gonna make us an awesome cake." And there was people complained that they were being shunned because of their lack of cake awesomeness. And eventually the homeless shelter decided that I was no longer allowed to take petty cash to go get the ingredients to make the awesome cake because of the sadness it caused when others failed to do it.
You left a mark. You touched them, Dave.
Something.
Yeah.
All by way of saying, I'm thinking of getting back to those cakes. Maybe I'll go to the grocery store tomorrow and just buy
what you need,
a bunch of stuff, and just see what happens.
Did they have a cake corner at your supermarket?
They have Dip Destination, which is my only real concern. They must have cake corner. I don't think they do. For whatever reason, the grocery store, they just decided to highlight dips. They know people want them. Dip Destination. Someone went the extra mile. Maybe I'll go tomorrow morning. Get up real early. We have our first guest locked and loaded. Shall we bring him in? He's one of my favorite human beings on earth, and I'm not just saying that because he walks among us. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is. His audio's connecting. His mic is connecting. Should we take away the call-in thing so we can all be bigger? Or that doesn't matter?
Are you hearing me?
There you are.
Are you hearing me fine?
Yeah, we can hear you. Paul Myers.
How you doing? I should probably turn off the I'm listening to you on the other channel, so hold on. Let me get rid of you on the other channel, so I'm not.
Oh, get rid of us.
Listener, turn down your radio. That's the old, you remember that?
Yeah, that's one of those things.
Hi. I was just
Paul.
watching you guys, and so I wanted to sort of see, so I didn't drop in, and like if it was one of those shows where they go, and we're gonna play Stink Mop with our next guest, and he doesn't know that the bucket's filled with urine, so I always like to listen before I come on.
Oh yeah, we were gonna play Stink Mop.
You notice I said urine? That just shows how I was raised, eh? Like I didn't say piss.
That's that's pure class.
Urine's funnier, I think.
No piss on me. I'm literally. Anyway, so what you guys doing?
We were just talking pandemic cakes, baking, and such.
Your hair looks great, Paul.
Thank you. I noticed that my headphones are making my hair look like I'm wearing some kind of weird barrette thing. A bump it. I'm wearing a bump it.
Hey,
look it up.
Chris,
Look
you
it up,
want to
kids.
get rid of the phone number so we can blow ourselves up and really appreciate Paul's hair in all its majesty? Let's get rid of that block.
I like Chris's wide angle lens there. That's nice. The bug eye feels like a Beastie Boys video from 1993.
It does.
Are you gonna? I have been baking. I have actually. I've learned how to make pizza, which I mean, it sounds like everyone's knew how to make pizza, but I literally learned how to make. We get the dough, we buy the dough. We don't buy it from a pizza place. We buy it from Trader Joe's, believe it or not.
Do what you got to do. But yeah, you can't
yes.
it out there.
Yeah, we buy it from Trader Joe's, and you leave it out on the counter for a while, and then so it's not frozen anymore. because it's harder to work when it's frozen. And then I get like Paul Myers uses all organic ingredients, and we just slice and dice and do the whole thing. So it's really cool.
What goes on your and we'll give you a proper razzmatazz intro, but first we need to focus on what pizza toppings.
Well, my favorite things are the best sliced pepperoni I can find, like the best quality. I buy local mushrooms and cut them into thin slices. I put basil from plucked from the leaf and just throw it on. And I use sliced olives, and what's the other thing? Well, tomato sauce. Although I just tried a pesto one recently. That's no tomato. It's just pesto sauce on top, and it's great. And different cheeses. I like to use the 4-cheese blend that you can get also at Trader Joe's. Big plug here.
What are the cheeses? What 4 cheeses are involved?
There are mozzarella and 3 other cheeses
that are out there today.
Yeah. I mean, 3 future draft choices, I think.
Cheddar.
Yeah. Cheddar might be there. They're all white.
Parmesan, maybe a Romano.
Yeah,
I call bullshit if cheddar's involved.
Yeah, that's like one of those burger pizzas.
I only want Italian cheeses involved.
Yeah.
Racist.
Asiago,
or mozzarella, Parmesan, Romano cheese. That's a cheese.
Yeah, you can go provolone, a little bit.
Provolone. Yeah, I just think
I've
when
used,
you get old.
I've used one of those bald mozzarella. Is that called buffalo or something like that? Or anyway, I've cut it up into coins. That's the one with the pesto I did. Okay, so I made a pesto base, and then I cut this thing into like coins, so they're like flat, little flat slices of the And then
that sounds delightful.
Melts in. I know it melts in real nice. So it's good.
Can't believe I'm talking
about this.
No, we need to talk about it, and then we'll get to more bullet point bio type things. But I want to say, backing it up a bit, I find that Parmesan cheese, when added to a pizza, makes it suck, and it enrages me because I'm thinking about it. I've gotten pizzas out here. First of all, I was back in New York. I was home in New York for a bit, and I ate 10 slices of pizza in 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
As many as 4 in one day on one of the days.
Acclimate, yeah.
Because I was like, just when I had to be done. So, but here in Ohio, where pizza is just the wild, wild west, you would think they'd have it down. There's places here in Ohio. There's a venue called the Beachland Ballroom, great venue, and across the street, there's like a stone oven pizza place, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's great." And so I went over there and I had a pizza, and I said, "I don't want to be the guy to tell you that your pizza place that you're all raving about is it sucks, but that pizza's it's inedible." And everyone was like taking umbrage at me. I was like, "It's horrible. They would be out of business before noon in New York City. They should not be allowed to operate ovens." Anyway, wishing them the best, even so. But I've gotten a couple pizzas out here, and it shows up, and you get like a margarita pizza, and then they take the liberty of adding Parmesan cheese to it, which is not an ingredient of margarita pizza.
No.
And it sullies the whole thing.
I do like grated Parmesan. It would be weird if they put it on for me, but I like it.
No, yeah.
You can mix it in with the cheeses as they cook. You don't have. I don't mean like you're not putting it on a cooked slice of pizza, but you kind of mix the Parmesan into the mozzarella.
No, I say fuck off if you do that.
It's all right. That's
harsh, dude.
What's that?
Harsh.
No, it's harsh, but I'm just saying Parmesan cheese is a cheese. that it's an elective process. It should never be just added.
It's opt-in.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Now that we got that out of the way,
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
and we'll come back to it with doubled energy.
Let's just loop back to that later.
Loop back to it. Let's yeah.
I'll pencil it in and we'll loop back to it.
But Paul Myers, you
Hi.
have you're in the Bay Area. I don't want to give exact coordinates because I don't want you to be murdered.
This is a drone strike.
I'm
in the East Bay. I'm in the East Bay, which is I can say this much. I'm above Oakland and just on the cusp of Berkeley, but not in Berkeley. So, I mean, it'll take you hours to find me. So there you go.
But I will find you. Make no mistake.
If I don't already know that.
And you have an excellent podcast. It's a monstrous podcast. It's a Record Store Day podcast.
Well, thank you.
I'd say it's the. Can we say it's? Let's say it's one of the music podcasts.
It's definitely one of the music. When I upload every week, when I upload it, it says what kind of podcast, and I hit music podcast.
It's a music podcast,
as opposed to say news. I do want to thank our own Chris Gersbeck for when we first set this show up, and our own Dave Hill. A little awkward on the Dave Hill one, I'll tell you in a second. But Chris Gersbeck was very, very helpful to me in I had never done a podcast before, so I knew how to talk on the thing. You know, you just aim your voice at the thing. But then what I didn't know was all that crazy stuff, that getting it up to the servers and getting it all mixed down and all that stuff. And so I gave myself a crash course, and I hit about 3 producers, and Chris Gersbeck was very helpful in giving me literally the things to know, which was so thank you, Chris.
Oh, it's okay. I was making it all up as I went along.
As it turns out, your guesses were all correct.
Sweet.
And I want to thank Dave Hill. This is the awkward part. Dave and I did a trial episode that actually could have been an episode, but there was some. I think you were using one of those. It was like a really tinny sound, and I kind of didn't know what the show was yet, so I was kind of asking you vague questions that went off into places that I know we could have done a better show. So I kept thinking, we'll recut it. And then weeks went by, and then we kind of missed that first window.
Here's one. Yeah.
But my empty promise to you, my shallow, hollow, empty promise to you is that we'll do another one because so many great Dave Hill things we didn't talk about. And I listen to your stuff, and I know your stuff, and I don't want you to think, yes, you're one of the great, you're a Hall of Famer. And of course,
way back.
my hours of experience training as a guest on your various podcasts led me to how to do it. And so I in all sincerity, Dave, we'll do it again. And I know it sounds like Harry Chapin. It sounds like Harry Chapin.
No, but you and I were talking about this the other day. Is now like your podcast is too successful.
That's not true.
And it's like you have Elvis Costello, you have all these.
Well, we did get Questlove. I mean,
Questlove.
So there's Questlove and Dave Hill, and I know
together at last
about the same, but Elvis Costello is definitely above all of us. So, and I had Nick Lowe in the first year, but that was a phoner. So, but that was kind of interesting.
I mean, Nick Lowe. I've met Nick Lowe, not to brag. I've met Questlove, not to brag. I've met Paul Myers.
Have you met Dave? Have you met John Oliver?
Of course, I've met John Oliver.
No, I just wondered because sometimes when people write the exciting theme song to a TV show that I love and listen to every week and go, "That's my friend Dave Hill." Sometimes they actually mailed it in, like they recorded it in their studio, sent it in by Dropbox or WeTransfer. I'm not naming names.
Yeah. Hightail, whatever.
Or what I used to call wet transfer. For years, I thought it was called wet transfer.
Oh, you sicko.
No, I mean, it's certainly one of my favorite film titles. In the video.
Wet transfer.
Wet Transfer 2 actually answers a lot of the
wet transfer. Wasn't that the sequel? That was the wet transfer. Fuck Bus 2 Wet Transfer.
The Manhattan Wet Transfer. It was an a cappella vocal group that have communal sex. It's kind of like it's
writes itself.
It literally just wrote itself. I think
takes place on the Upper West Side.
takes place, and that's the name.
Has
right?
to.
It wouldn't be
Crosstown
in Queens.
bus,
It wouldn't
86th
be in
Street
Queens
bus.
if it was called Manhattan Transfer. Anyway, but I digress. I think we went from a serious thing to a thing. Also, Dave Hill has a story in an upcoming literary anthology that I'm not necessarily plugging.
No, you have to plug it because I wanted to plug that as well.
It's a book called Go Further that Rare Bird are putting out. It's the sequel to a book called Go All the Way, which was a collection of literary stories about power pop and what I call the much maligned and misunderstood subgenre of power pop, and loosely based on that. So it goes off in tangents, and we get different writers. The first edition had like Michael Chabon. I think we've lost. Oh, there's a picture of it right there.
Yeah, there with the knack.
Yeah, we chose the knack out of all the. I mean, this is what's going to happen. People are going to think it's a book about the knack, and this happens every time. The last book had a picture of Badfinger on the cover, and people thought it was a book about Badfinger. But that picture is a really awesome picture because it shows the excitement and energy of power pop. And that would
Doug
be Figure
and the drummer's name I can't remember.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to know that stuff, but
the drummer's he was the handsome one in the band. Not to take anything away from anyone else.
Yeah, and you know who's the one that's on Twitter who's really, really cool? Is it
from the Knack?
Yeah, there's a guy on Twitter. Is it Aver? Is that his name? Oh shoot!
I don't know.
Supposed to know this
I'm not
stuff.
on Twitter.
Here, I gotta say, I'm a little bit embarrassed that I'm blanking on stuff about the Knack, but I knew Doug Feiger's name, of course, and his brother was the top controversial lawyer in Michigan for years. His
really,
brother, Jeffrey Feiger represented Kevorkian, I think. Anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Long story there, but you wrote a story that is really great, sort of about glam and power pop and stuff like that, and it's very Dave Hill, and I was really honored and happy.
A lot of people say it's the best thing in the book.
It is. It actually opens the book. Yeah, it opens the book. That's right.
It opens the
it's
book.
Our book.
That's a lot of
your
pressure.
Story called Glitter and Glue, which is good.
Oh, now I'm remembering what it's about. Why
Yeah,
you? Because I was like, is it about glam? Then I was like, nope. I remember.
Well, it's kind of about glam. It's kind of about. Yeah, we'll let the readers find out what it's about.
We'll let the readers find out.
But it has your inimitable, and I tried to imitate it, and it's not imitable. It's your inimitable style, and it's a little bit reverent towards rock and roll, and a little bit whatever the opposite of reverent is. And I like that.
No one will never know.
The place you live, man. The place you live. That
I
place,
walk the line.
Yeah, the Valley Lodge, painted doll, everything in the middle. Lots of dangerous snakes in the middle. It's the whole, the Dave Hill vibe.
Sure,
you know?
Sure. Yeah.
So that's, and this is all sincere. This isn't my Hollywood praise. This is the real praise.
No, that's for the second half of the show.
So I'm really excited that you're in that. And we got a lot of people in that book that are like Ira Robbins, who was the editor and I think co-founder or maybe founder of Trouser Press magazine. So
Sure.
he writes a story because he's one of the first guys to write about power pop in the 70s. And so he writes a story. I was kind of proud because I asked him to do this, which I said, why don't you go back to your 1978 story you wrote about power pop and see how much of it you'd still hold up. And it was great. He wrote the story about revisiting, like I think in 1978, he predicted that Kiss would be one of the big power pop bands. And he kind of says, well, I was wrong. But he also there's a thing about Kiss that they actually, Paul Stanley especially, has elements of power pop in his thing. And he's a huge Raspberries fan. So
100%. I can see that.
And of course, we dodged a huge bullet on the Raspberries. I mean, naming our first book Go All the Way right as Eric Carmen was freaking out. That was awkward.
Oh, Eric Carmen.
It was so embarrassing. Can I tell you the story? We get Eric Carmen. Well, so we named the book Go All the Way because that was the name for years. I always thought Go All the Way was one of the great archetypal power pop songs, and it's like 6 songs in one. And I remember thinking it's such a great Go All the Way. It's such the name is it's so about the urgency of now and all that stuff and all that. And then as the book's about to go to press, I see that Eric Carmen's on Twitter, and I sort of just think I'll friend him or I'll tag him. And he's like, oh, cool, you named your book. And I said, yeah. And so I followed him back. And then I was just starting the podcast up, I think. And I was trying to figure out what to do. And I thought, hey, I'll get Eric Carmen. We'll talk about the Raspberries. It'll be really cool. And then someone tagged me and said, hey, Paul Myers, do you know that, have you seen what Eric Carmen's tweeting? And it was like, I hadn't even considered that he'd gone mental. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
no, he's fully on the wrong
full
side
MAGA.
of history.
He'd gone the full MAGA, man.
He's full MAGA.
And it was like the offensive kind, like not just like I like the president, not just I like the president and blah blah blah, not just the I'm a moron who likes Trump. It was like naming, like calling out races and things like that. It was heavy stuff.
No, he's a horrible.
Was he at the Capitol?
He may have been there. That would have been funny if the furhead guy was standing right beside Eric Carmen, but they both had the same size
haircut.
Yeah.
No, Eric Carmen. It's a real. But
anyway,
I mean,
he's not in this book.
It's all right. I don't mind throwing out all my Raspberries records when you have Big Star. Who cares?
But I don't want to punish Wally Bryson. The other guy from the Raspberries.
I mean, I have it on fairly good authority that Wally Bryson already hated Eric Carmen anyway.
There you go.
That's Cleveland street gossip.
It appears that Eric Carmen's no longer on Twitter. He's been banned.
Oh, really?
I thought, Chris, I thought you were about to say Eric Carmen has joined the chat.
Yeah.
We have a surprise.
We have him in the waiting room.
This was all an elaborate setup.
Crazy.
This is your life, Paul. Yeah. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene here who wants to write a story about Power Pop.
Oh my gosh.
Lauren Boebert she writes about Loving Badfinger. Anyway, so the book's called Go Further, the new one, and you can pre-order it from Rare Bird, and
when is it available to the people?
I'm that guy now who doesn't know exactly, but it's May. They tell me it's in May sometime.
Well, May, I mean, is arguably the Power Pop month, if I dare say so.
Yeah, I think because of Phil May of The Pretty Things and Brian May of Queen, right? So isn't that
sure
traditionally what you do, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, so it's good, and there's a lot of cool stories in there. And I wrote about why LA. I wrote a story about called I forget what it's called now, Echoes Through the Canyon or something like that. It's called Los Anglophiles, and it's about why so many of the contemporary LA pop musicians sort of end up either playing with British legends like the guys who play behind Joey Mollin's Badfinger or Denny Lane. They're a lot of the same guys, and also Darian and all those guys from the Wondermints playing. He played with the Zombies, and there's this whole thing about how the British 60s.
Weren't we just talking about the Zombies?
Second reference of the night.
Really? That's
how
great.
It goes.
Do they make pizza also? Is that what's the deal?
They have this Asiago cheese pizza.
Rod Argent.
No, Elvira, one of our earlier callers, arguably I think the only earlier caller, was talking about ZZ Top pretending to be the Zombies. It's a whole nother thing. There was some grain of truth to it, but I digress. And but here we are.
Before I forget, I want to say though that last night I watched the season premiere late last week tonight with John Oliver. And it's true. Every time I hear the beginning of the Valley Lodge song, I'm excited because the John Oliver show is about to start, but also it's such a great inviting riff and it's such a great moment. So I just I do get very I get friend proud, that thing with like, that's my friend, that's my friend. Much. I know I'm kind of pathetic that way, but maybe I should just be myself and trust
no, please. I love it.
But yeah, I do. My wife's usually there, so I usually go, that's Dave.
No, I love, every year I have a panic because, in the lead up to the new season, there's always like a promo for the new season. And this has happened a few times where there's some other music in the promo. And I'm like, well, what is that music? That's not my song. And I get in this panic that they've decided not to use it.
Shows do that sometimes. They do switch theme songs.
Yeah.
But thanks for making me feel better.
No.
And it's Hungry Eyes by Eric Carmen. And that's
can you
like imagine Hungry Eyes.
I feel like
anyway.
They used to do that a lot. I don't think they really do that anymore though. I feel
What's
like
that? Change theme
like change
songs?
up the theme song. Like I think Go will be the theme
Believe
song for that
it or
show.
not, we're walking on it.
Show.
But anyways, it happens, and then I'll spend a couple months in a mild panic, thinking.
Well, one of the things they could do is they
That-
could switch it to a string quartet version where you would still get paid as the writer, but it wouldn't be your master anymore. So it'd be like, but I could hear like a nice 4-part, like,
No, I don't like this. I don't like this idea at all, Paul. No, see, that's you can't.
Or the Manhattan Transfer singing it in 4-part harmony.
No,
While wet.
can't be done. The riff is too iconic.
It's true.
It's too
It really
iconic.
is.
It can't.
It really is. It is.
No, you
It
can't
is such a
improve
great
upon it.
that thing with the open string hitting the other string, and like I don't want to get technical on anyone, but there's another
No,
string. hitting
it's
another string.
simple yet really difficult. People always post videos of themselves trying to play it and they get it wrong.
Hey, can I take you down a road with something about this?
Please.
Okay. Do you know a song called "Tenderness" by General Public?
Yes.
Has anyone ever pointed out that you can sort of sing? There's like that dun 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 dun, that rhythm of like there's, I think it's tenderness. Of the words like conviction can turn into a sentence. And
oh, totally.
I sort of feel like you could do a medley of Go and then run into Tenderness by General Public. I don't know. It's and those aren't plagiarisms. I'm not saying that that's a thing. I'm saying it's more like my brain does this thing where it files a certain groove or a certain approach to where the vocal falls in the chord and all that stuff. Again, I'm not very technical. But anyway,
well,
I don't
no,
know
that's high praise. I mean,
in public. Yeah. Exactly.
No. That's definitely like, I think we not before the prior, but when it was done, we were like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all.
Well, and taking it further, I think there's about 3 Valley Lodge songs, because my friend Jody was saying her husband learned how to play Go. And then so I said, oh, well, here's a little gift. If he knows how to play Go, he can play this song and this song, because it's all the same beat pretty much.
Yeah,
I won't say what the other songs are. They're not the exact same beats. They're just very similar.
Well, anyway, that's the thing I've been meaning to tell you. So so we're good now.
Ranking
good, right?
Roger, the estate of Ranking Roger is going to come after me.
Exactly.
Do we have a call on hold? I understand.
I do. Yeah, we got Jimmy. Jimmy's here.
Oh, Jimmy from Kearney.
Jimmy, you there?
Yeah. Hey, Dez. How you doing?
Good, Jimmy. Welcome back.
Thanks, man. Hey, Dave. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Paul. How are you?
Hey.
You sound great. What's happening?
Speaking of klonopin, I took my nightly dose. Forgive me though, but anyway, I not to beat a dead horse or anything, but just go easy on it. I heard early in the show that you were going to get a prescription, Dave. Just don't speed with it. You know what I mean?
I have a prescription and I'm loving it.
All right, good.
Though I don't want to keep.
I don't go by how it's prescribed. It's one of the slowest acting benzos, but it's one of the most longer acting benzos also. So,
I don't think it'll be a long-term expedition for me.
Good.
But
good.
I think it'll just be a little. I think it's.
Is it existential angst, or is it political horror on the outside?
I just think I needed
all mixed in.
I think I needed to just bring it down before I brought it back up again.
Level out, period.
I hear you.
But
Cool.
no, but yeah, people have said that it can be very addictive, but it gives me a bit of a headache. So I think for that reason alone, it's nothing I want to make a habit of. But
Yeah.
also it really,
And also saw there was an interview by I think a Southern Asian woman. Forget what the name of the periodical or the whatever it was in, but you mentioned that you were reading Jim Thompson's Pop 1280.
oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not even positive how to read that title. It's definitely, pop.
I think that's
abbreviation for population.
I think that's how you read it, yeah.
But he did a lot of screenwriting for Kubrick. Well, I think only 2 things. Maybe there was more, but they didn't even get out of the gate. But 2 of Kubrick's earliest films, The Killer, I think it was The Killers and Paths of Glory, were he had a screenwriting role, Thompson, and I read Pop 1280 and The Killer Within Me or Inside Me.
Hey, Jimmy, I hate to interrupt you and pull you off topic, but as anyone who's ever heard you call into the show before is well aware, you have the voice of an angel, and it seems
you're too kind.
it just always seems like I would be remiss. I hate to interrupt you, but I'd be remiss not to get at least a few bars of something out of you, as long as we have you on the line here. Is there any chance you could sing a little something for us before we bring Mike Adams on?
Yeah. Let me just stand up so I have some more.
Yeah. Let it breathe by all means.
Okay. I'm gonna put the phone out a little bit.
What happened?
Shit, that was me. I was going to turn it up and I hit the switch and now fuck.
Jimmy, I'm sorry if you're out there. Please feel free to call back. We really got to get these phone lines fixed.
I like the thought on all night though.
Let's
Damn it.
Paul Myers.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to finish that? Bob. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh, mood. I know. I was waiting to come in with my part. I was gonna be like.
It would have been beautiful, but unfortunately, our phone lines are not up to task. Speaking of Power Pop,
yeah,
we have a great. Are you familiar with Mike Adams at his honest weight, or just Mike Adams as we'll call him tonight?
I should be, but
sadly, you're going to be a huge fan.
Not ringing a bell.
You're going to be a huge fan, and I
hear he's on his way.
He walks among us. Who's in charge to hit the button to have Mike join us now? There he is. Mike Adams. Mike, are you there?
I think I'm here. Hold on a second. I think I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
we can hear you.
That's Mike Adams, of course.
Hi.
Hi, Mike Adams.
Bloomington, Indiana.
That's right.
Great to see you.
Thanks. You too. Yeah, I've been watching since 8 o'clock.
Since 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so I'm up to speed. It's good.
You're up to speed. What is that? One of those you guys both have good microphones. What is that? One of those SM7s? You guys all have SM7s.
This is the best sounding episode we've done, I think.
I have an SM7B. I hope. Is this sounding okay to you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna buy one.
Do it, Dave.
Tomorrow.
You owe it to yourself, really.
Dez sounds great, by the way. Dez sounds really good on the mic, I think.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have one of those too, Chris?
Nah, this is a USB. Yeti.
Garbage. I'm on the USB as well. I gotta get a SM7.
You can do it.
People can hear me sultry. I'll probably book more voiceover auditions that way. Right? That's the problem.
I have this windscreen that I got for singing, and I've been using it for the podcast. And then I realized later, like, you don't really need them with this thing because it's got like a windscreen on it, and it's
already got
it. Maybe it was Chris Gersbeck who told me the thing's kind of already blah, 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 blah. It handles sound, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's ready for it.
And everyone who listens and watches to this show is thinking, why is he talking about microphones? It's like,
well, if I can dig our ditch further, do you have it? Does it hook up to a USB?
Yeah, it goes into a Focusrite Scarlett USB converter, the red one. That
okay.
What I like to call the workhorse of the podcast industry.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we alienated as much people as possible with our microphone talk by dragging it into interface, and we've succeeded.
There you go.
And with that,
Mike, you still there?
I'm right here. Yeah, thanks. I'm going through mine's an outdated Mackie Onyx 16 channel. It's
oh my gosh,
vintage.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
People are just abusing themselves listening to this. They're just saucy. Now you're in Bloomington, Indiana right now, right?
That's correct. Yeah, Bloomington.
How's
Indiana.
it going out there?
I'm in the middle of a blizzard. I'm looking.
You guys are getting a blizzard too.
We're getting dumped on. Yeah, it's supposed to stop at 9 though. I heard, but it hasn't. We're supposed to get about 12 inches, I think.
Nice.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I don't know.
School's closed. Work's closed. Yeah.
Man, oh
real deal.
man.
Yeah.
And Paul Myers, you're out there. Warm smell of
we have no snow. Yeah. Yes.
Rising up through the air.
There, I think it's colitis. Or
colitis.
It's a dog. It's a dog with colitis, actually.
Warm smell of colitis rising up through the pipes.
Oh damn!
What? No. What are colitis? No one knows. Warm smell of colitis.
I think it's a type of athletic footwear, right? Isn't it? Colitis.
See, colitis.
I don't know. People quote
smell of colitis.
People quote that lyric like they know. You know, they go, "Oh, it's one of the best lines, man."
I thought it's with a C, not a P.
It's colitas. It's COLITAS. Is it not? Colita.
Warm smell of colitis.
Yeah, I think it has.
No one knows.
Is it marijuana? Everything is marijuana, really, isn't it? In the 70s, isn't everything like sweet leaf or something like one of those?
You'd think, but
I could just see Don Henley sitting down and going, "I'm going to put colitis in a song, man. It's going to get them talking."
Colitis.
When I was in high school, there was a battle of the bands for all the teens, and
sure,
the rival band to my band at the battle covered Hotel California, but the school administrators barred them from singing it due to the satanic connotations. So they had to just do an instrumental jam of Hotel California. So I still don't know what colitis are is the point.
It's equally satanic in the instrumental version, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I would have to think.
Yeah.
Arguably more so.
Yeah. It's the forbidden.
That
solo.
would be a sick jam. I'm sorry. Mike, you're gonna play a little something for us tonight, right?
I could if you want me to, yeah.
Would you be willing?
I would.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
I mean, it can be from any of your releases.
Yeah.
Your most recent, that now it's 2 years old. There is no feeling better.
Mm-hmm. I'll do one from
now.
That,
yeah. When there it is.
It's a nice cover.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's really nice.
And the vinyl looks great. I have a question. When you say, does it mean there is no feeling better? Does that mean this is the best feeling, or you will never feel better? Is it a negative or a positive title?
It's what it is a Rorschach test. It's kind of up to you.
I took it as the positive.
Good.
Because that's how I feel when
it's the klonopin.
I've told this story before. I've told this. I'm always happy to tell my Mike Adams origin story because it has a happy ending, I think, at least for as far as I'm concerned. And tell me if I'm getting any of this wrong, Mike.
I'll monitor you. Yeah.
You tweeted at me something like, Dave, you're the greatest of all time, blah, 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 whatever, the usual things that people used to tweet at me when I was on Twitter.
Mhm.
You're the best. And my band is playing. And then you sent a link to your music. And normally, and Paul Myers, I'm sure you can, Mike Adams, I'm sure anyone listening, Dez, Chris, can attest, statistically speaking, when anyone sends you a link to their music, statistically speaking, that music's going to be very bad. Would you agree? If just I'm saying a random person.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, if it's here, you don't know them and you barely asked if they have any music, you mean? Like,
so
you mean somebody that sort of knows you more than you know them, and they go,
oh, entirely unsolicited. Yeah.
I have to admit, it's rare that anything turns up that way.
It's extremely rare that someone seemingly dropped from outer space says, here, check out my band. But I was I said, I'm gonna check it out, and I was like, oh my god, this might be my new favorite band, all within the matter of a few minutes. I couldn't believe it.
It worked,
and I loved it. And then the tables were turned, and I started to pursue him. It was like some sort of, I don't know, movie. I don't know, but all by way of saying, been a huge fan and dare I say friend at this point in my life.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I'd hope you'd say that.
Feels good. Yeah, we've upped the ante,
mm-hmm.
and so I've teed it up. Now, with all of that having been said, would you favor us with a song, perhaps from the hit album There Is No Feeling Better? And I'm very excited for you to play this because I feel Paul Myers, who could still safely be in that category of thinking, well, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah, some clown, some geek off.
I know that's not how you think, Paul, but you could just
but see, the magic thing is, if somebody you respect welcomes it in, then it's already got the what's the word, imprimatur.
Vouched for.
Yeah, it's vouched.
It's been vouched for, but you could be like, I don't know, Dave. He's a bit of a loose cannon.
He has gambling debts.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear Mike.
Yeah, I'll try one. Let's see what happens. And yeah, I'm trusting you guys, Dave. As you said, we are basically friends at this point. If it's sounding bad,
I feel good about our friendship.
You have to wave your hands and tell me if it's not sounding great, because I'm flying by the seat of my pants over here.
Fair enough.
It's just a caveat.
I can see there's the seat of your pants. Oh my God.
No, it's right there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I forget what this is called. This is from that record though. Dots and Dashes is this one. What's that sound everyone's on about? I think that I heard it loud, but you've got to tell me. I live my life in pieces. You peck out yours in code. Some classic concentration of dots and dashes, I don't know. Don't look now, maybe they found us out. If I'm gonna turn it down, you've got to tell me.
'Cause I live my life in pieces. You peck out yours in code. Some classic concentration of dots and dashes I don't know. I live my life in pieces. You peck out yours in code. Some classic concentration of dots and dashes I don't know. Of dots and dashes I don't know.
Yes.
Great.
Beautiful.
Rough around the edges, but you know, it's
No, wonderful.
I have a technical question. Were we hearing the guitar just ambient from the back, like from the same microphone that you're singing into?
I had a second microphone.
Yeah, and that. Yeah, and I was gonna say because and also it kind of had this neat phase shifting that happened that was kind of made it psychedelic. It was kind of cool.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
but
true.
it also created more of an intimacy vibe with the lead vocal because it wasn't phase shifting. I could explain this in my producer notes later.
I get it. No, I'm with you. I'm right there. That's cool.
We'll run a flange over it and then take off 20K at the top, and it'll be great. Yeah. That sounds great, man. I love that. I think your voice carries the whole thing too. It's really about it centers on the vocal, which is the best.
Oh, thanks.
So there
a
you
lot.
go.
I really appreciate that.
Is this that show where we put a big X above my name?
I know. I was waiting. I was waiting. So, Paul,
I'm gonna put you to the next round. You're going to
Are
the
we
next
getting
round.
a yes? Are we?
You're
getting
going
a
to
yes,
Hollywood.
Eddie?
You're going to Hollywood.
This is excellent.
Hey, can I tell a quick story, Dave? Since
Yeah, please turn up your mic a little bit if you
yeah.
can.
Sorry, is that better? Is that better? Can you hear that better?
Yeah, a little more heat.
Bring it.
How's that? That's really up now.
Oh, that's hot. That's nice.
Okay, good. Paul, I was excited when Dave told me you were going to be on the show tonight as well.
Oh,
just because I have a little small world story to tell you.
Oh.
2 Christmases ago, I was at my mother-in-law's house in Evansville, Indiana, that area.
Sure, I know Evansville.
Yeah, it's a neat little
I
town.
used to summer in Evansville.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
my friend Carl lives there, as
Well,
you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I bring this up, because I was everyone had gone to bed. I stayed up late and I was reading One Dumb Guy. And you quote Carl in the book.
Carl Caffarelli?
Carl Arnheiter.
Oh, Carl Arnheiter. Oh, yeah, right.
And he was down the street from me at the time.
He did an interview that I listened to with Kevin McDonald. Yes.
Yeah, and so I texted him and was like, "Hey, I'm in the same town as you, reading a book that's not about you, but you're in it." And it was just this funny thing. And I know Carl because of Dave, so it's this nice.
That's
funny
awesome.
little-
Yeah. And that Kids in the Hall book was so off-brand for me because I am a music guy and I wrote books about music, but then I was a huge comedy fan for many years. I still am, and realized that I knew a lot about comedy, I guess, enough to, and I'd lived sort of around the Kids in the Hall their entire career. So that's how I ended up writing a book about comedy. And as a result of that, I'm actually writing a book about John Candy now. So it's
great.
Nice.
It's tough going, I'll tell you.
I can't wait for
probably
that.
shouldn't
There's
talk,
not enough.
Probably shouldn't talk about this, but it seems like Schitt's Creek being such a very popular show has made it almost impossible to get an interview with anyone associated with Schitt's Creek. But which John Candy knew many of the people.
Yeah,
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm sure they'll come around. Anyway, yeah, that's going to come out next year, and I can't wait to basically have it done, because I'm at that place where you're living with it now. And but thanks for the reading One Dumb Guy.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was so great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's a great book.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It made me happy to write something different from not music,
That's another the listener keeping track. That's another book from Paul you can get. In addition to Go Further, coming out May sometime.
May sometime.
Indeterminate.
Indeterminate. It'll come out. And anyway, but thank you, Mike. I don't want to take away from your lovely comment. And thank Carl again. That was really nice that he did that interview with Kevin McDonald of the Kids in the Hall,
who lives in Winnipeg.
Hey, you knew that too? Yeah. I just talked to him. I was just talking to him.
Bit of trivia. I mean, it's not a secret. We're not.
There's Burton Cummings, who he might be in Winnipeg again. John K. Sampson from the Weaker Thans is one of my favorite songwriters. He lives in Winnipeg, or lived in Winnipeg. I don't know if he still is.
Burton Cummings.
Of the Guess
if we can just go hard, and where are the Canadians living? He lives in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Is that right? Burton Cummings.
I know this because yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you, for starters? But because I've lost many a night in Moose Jaw. You're Googling it, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
I hope.
Can't believe I've been to Moose Jaw. I mean, he mentions it in one of his songs. So
there was something happened, as is always the case with celebrities. There was a construction issue. Someone tried to build something that, became an inconvenience to Burton Cummings. And he said, hey, she's come undone. And then, it just started rattling off all the hits. And there we have it. Not having it.
He's not having it.
Something like that. I don't know if he brought up She's Come Undone. She's
the big operatic finish. She's come on. Like he does that big ending. And then
yes. So do we have time? Because we do end aggressively at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Mike, would you be willing to favor us with a song? And then we'll give our official goodbyes.
Yeah, sure.
To each other and to the world.
Thanks for having me. If we hit the mark.
Thank you, and thanks to Paul Myers as well. And then we'll get the plugs in, and we'll pin down where Burton Cummings lives.
That's right. Oh, that ZZ Top thing is half true, by the way.
It's half true.
Yeah. Well, it's not that it was ZZ Top doing it, but it was 2/3 of ZZ Top pretending to be the Zombies.
Yes, this is true. But I took umbrage because it was suggested that Billy Gibbons was involved, and he was not.
Had no
clearly.
part of it. Yeah, no part of it.
No part.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks again, Dave. Here's another one.
Thank you.
With no direction, and only what I'd brought along, which I was given. What if I'd been wonderful to love? What if I was happy just to get by? What if I'd been wonderful to love? Was that an arrow? think it was a poison dart. It could have missed us. But what if I'd been wonderful to love? What if I was happy just to get by? What if I'd been wonderful to love? What if I'd been wonderful to love? What if I was happy just to get by? What if I'd been wonderful to love?
Thanks again, fellers.
Excellent.
Bravo.
Mike Adams, where can people find you without showing up outside your home?
Yeah, please don't do that. The easiest way is mikeadams.info.
Perfect.
That'll direct you to all the stuff where the action is.
And the jams, the nonstop jams.
That's right.
And Paul Myers, Go Farther, out sometime in May.
Go further.
Go further. You say, that's the Canadian pronunciation. It's fine.
If I say tomato and you say tomato, then we're both saying tomato.
True. Go
so
further.
That's,
I don't know.
out, and,
I'm sorry I kept saying go farther. Thank you.
I don't know why it's go further, but I guess when you've gone all the way. So, and then, the other thing is that, that One Dumb Guy book is still out there doing the Lord's work. And you can find me on PULMYEARS on Twitter, the Pull My Ears. But you knew that. And I'm sorry to rub it in that you're not on Twitter, but the Dave Hill Goodtime Hour is on
proudly Twitter. Not. Twitter, I think everyone should delete Twitter.
There you go. And I'm strangely still on Facebook, but I don't know why. Instagram, I'm on Instagram too. So
the grams.
Look at me on all the socials. Anyway, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks, both of you guys. And if there is a Go Even Further book, which I recommend.
Go past the further.
Go even further than you had anticipated.
At this rate, we will. At this rate, we will. It seems like there's a lot of people writing stories about this music.
You got to get Mike Adams on board.
Oh, happily.
Love to see what you're writing.
If I may put you on the spot.
Yeah, do it, please. Pin me down.
Thank you, Mike Adams. Thank you, Paul Myers.
Thank you, Dave Hill.
Thank you, New Jersey Chicken Rancher Dez. Thank you, Boy Criminal Chris Gersbeck.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks to all who watched, listen live in the on the YouTubes, and thanks to everyone listening in the futuristic podcast format that comes out every Friday. And thanks to all of you who listen via Maximum Fun. If you want to support this program, go to maximumfun.org/join, and there's all sorts of good things. There's a pin with my hair. It's not my actual hair, it's a depiction of my hair, drawn by Molly McDonald. That's just one of the things you can get to improve your life. All right, let's ride on out like a scene from a movie or something. I don't really know. Are we out? Can we say